What's up, guys? This is Chris from Pondoff's Anonymous with a little bonus episode. We'll call it 15 because it's the way you number things in order chronologically. So, but it's a bonus episode. We're going to release it middle of the week instead of on Monday, and it's pretty special to me because Jeff and I are welcoming a longtime fucking friend of mine. I've known this kid probably since I was 5 or 6.
Oh,
wow. So allow us to introduce to you my good friend, Joey Miner. Joey, hi.
Hey, how's it going, Chris?
Going well, brother. Thanks for being here. Thanks for jumping on. I know you had a bunch of things going on to get to tonight, but you probably didn't because nobody can leave their fucking house, right?
You're right.
So perfect timing to do a podcast, right, boys?
Yes, sir.
yes.
So Jeff, you haven't met Joey. You two are some music buffs, and we got to get you guys together.
Yeah, jam session, Pondoff's Anonymous style.
There you go.
We can just do it, via the Zoom thing here.
We can.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys could probably just impromptu put on a pretty good fucking show for everyone. I mean, that's like, and it's. I'm not trying to. Maybe we should do this. Actually, get your guitars out. But Joey, for those of you that don't know that are tuning in, Joey plays for the Well Hungarians, a band from Southern Illinois, wildly popular in Southern Illinois. Great fucking band. Chicks are throwing bras and fucking panties at them like it's. I'm just kidding, but that's a great fucking band. It probably did. It has happened, but and Joey's kind of a fucking rock star, man. I mean, he'll never ever act like it or admit it, but the guy's fucking talented, and I love his sound, and we can talk a little bit about that tonight, and to start it off with bands like Joey's. I mean, they aren't doing shit right now, and you talk about an industry that's hurting right now. I saw on the news actually they were talking to some local musicians who, you guys, Joey, fucking, I mean, that's how you make your money, and you're grounded. You're done, right? I mean, you're just
yeah. A lot of people are doing stuff online, the virtual tip jars and stuff like that, and I mean, it was hurting already, before this. I mean, just getting younger people to go to clubs and then listen to live music. It's just harder, it wasn't great, but it was starting to move and get better. And then this just, it chopped us off. And I mean, I could speak for the rest of the guys in the band. Like, we got the itch, man. We just want to play, but there's not really much we can do. So just trying to figure out what side work can be done,
Mm-hmm.
I'll do anything at this point.
Sure.
I'll keep playing music if I can, but
Well, you have a gift, my friend. So
thank you.
I don't want you ever to put that guitar or that banjo. Is it a banjo that you bust out when you? What's it? Fiddle. What the fuck? God.
Nice.
Sorry, guys. It's sad too because my old man played the guitar a little bit. He would strum a few songs and he'd only know like the chorus of the song and he just couldn't keep it on repeat. But I never was able to pick that up. And I guess we usually do recommended background music for these podcasts. And I mean, are you guys okay with me just saying it's got to be John Deere Green by Joe Diffie? I mean, fuck, how brutal is that?
Oh, it's brutal.
And he got it from the shit, right? They died from COVID-19, whatever the fuck they're calling it.
Yeah.
You see all the country musicians. I mean, it sounds like that guy was a solid fucking guy too behind the scenes. He was a real deal. And I have been listening to him. We used to blare him down in Talladega, Alabama, where it's a country music redneck festival. So yeah, I just wanted to give him a quick shout out. Big fan of his, and it's real life what's going on out there, boys. I would say that this week alone, we've probably had two that I know of that have passed away, not from the virus, but probably from the loneliness. So, and those are just people that I know. So it's affecting all kinds of people out of work, people. It's just overcome with anxiety and depression and loneliness. Joey, that you and I had a phone call leading up to this, and we were kind of touching on that stuff, and we'll get to that. But I guess I should shut the fuck up a little bit. Pardon me. I want to bring Joey in, and the reason he's on is Joey's walked the walk, man. And I would. Is it fair to say that you've seen what rock bottom looks like?
Yeah, I've seen what rock bottom looks like, and I try to dig a little further.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cliche, but yeah, man, it's for me. I definitely saw mine. That's for sure.
Yep. And Joey, we had kind of lost touch through, I guess, our 20s, but Facebook and stuff, and staying in touch that way. And I remember when we really reconnected. Was for those of you that are just tuning in, before launching the podcast, I kind of went in phases with this Pondoff's Anonymous mission, if you want to call it that. Started as a blog, writing, sharing my story, making sure people knew that they weren't alone. And then I began a foster parenting journey where writing and putting out, stories of me doing blow and banging strippers probably wasn't the best for there's a lot of people that can get their hands on that shit and do the wrong things and take it the wrong way out of context, right? So instead of writing and being super vulnerable online, I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go to Fridays, the tavern I grew up at, every Monday night. I'm gonna sit at the bar, and if anybody's struggling, they're welcome to come up and have a conversation, or reach out to me. And it was one Monday night that you and our mutual friend Evan walked in, and he had told me that you guys had connected and been going out. I know you and Burnham were hanging. Excuse me, he don't give a fuck. You and Kyle were hanging out, and we got to talking. Yeah, we got to talking that night at the bar, and I was completely unaware of how bad it had gotten for you. But the Joey I met that night was on the onward and upward, and doing well. And we talked about God that night at the fucking bar. You remember? Do you remember this?
Yeah. Oh, I do. Yeah.
And we were kind of talking about our thing, and you showed me your tattoo. Can you share with us what your tattoo is?
Oh yeah. You can get it in there. It's a void stamp. I get asked everywhere, is that real? Is that real? Yeah, it's real. Okay. But I mean, literally and figuratively, it is void. My veins they ran away from the surface a long time ago. I was jabbing at them for so long, but as many people that ran down that path, it happens. But it was one of those things where it's like I don't want to call attention to my past to make a look at me sort of thing, but I do want people to know that they could approach me and talk about it, because I met so many people throughout my journey of trying to get better that if it wasn't for them kind of being so open about it and I probably wouldn't have come to the conclusions or the epiphanies, the aha moments. Oh, hi, Sylvia.
Hey, who's our friend?
That's Sylvia.
Who said you weren't getting pussy while during? I'm sorry, I just couldn't.
Classic Pondoff.
Oh shit!
Sorry, I can't help myself.
But yeah, but I kind of wear the tattoo as it's a little bit of a conversation starter. I can go real dark or real deep or real light. Oh yeah, it was just something funny. A lot of people don't think twice about it. Some people ask, and I've had some really, really good conversations with people that they've been wanting to talk about maybe a friend that's been going through something, or it's just, I want to be approachable when it comes to the craziest shit that anybody wants to talk about, because I know that for anything crazy or do you think you've done, I've either done worse or crazier, or there's somebody else that's done worse or crazier. You know, it's not comparing and not the judgmental shit. You know, I just try to be an open book, and I wear my heart on my sleeve anyway. So
Absolutely.
I just feel that it's I don't know. My parents were just like, you're really just going to get that on your arm. Half the people don't even notice it, you know. But it is. I think it is a good thing. I don't regret it or anything. So.
Well, I mean, I think it's a powerful statement, and from what you just said, and from what we spoke about on the phone, and Saturday morning, I think we had some coffee together on the phone, and I heard in your heart a real passion for putting this shit out there, like Jeff and I have been doing, and I really hear that in you, and because I've known you. I mean, I was talking with my mother the other day. She was reminding me about how we used to go over to your grandma's house and how much like a second mother she was to my mom. And who would have thought that we were playing Nintendo and you were, I always remember you eating those fucking lima beans, and I was wondering, man, this kid's weird. He's fucking eating lima beans. He's 6 years old. But I still remember that, brother. And like 30 fucking years later, we're on a recovery podcast talking about our journeys, because it's not a, hey, look at me. It's not a, hey, look at you. It's a, hey, we're here to help. We've walked this fucking battle. We've seen rock bottom, and you want to be a resource for people that are getting you through. That's what I get from your heart. Am I on point there?
Yeah, you are. You're right. I do. I want to, you know, try to. It's very cliche and it's said all the time, but you know, we keep what we have by giving it away. And,
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like, you know, and cliches are there for a fucking reason. There's, you know, it's, and I think, and like I told you, you know, I have stopped heroin, but like I drink, and I actually have been drinking for a few days now, especially because of some recent events that have happened. Really kind of shook my world. So been off the sauce for a few days, which is good for me. But
it's interesting you say that. I got to stop you for a second.
Oh, okay.
So we'll get it. But so something hard happened to you, and you stopped drinking.
Yeah. All I wanted to do was drink, you know, and I just I couldn't even in good conscience. It's almost like I've been doing something wrong. You know, normally that would have been a time where I just drink to just kind of numb out, or at least try to go to sleep. You know,
absolutely.
I really didn't sleep that night. I probably would have closed my eyes had I gotten, you know, sauced up. But still, that just, I call it the Band-Aid bullshit. You know, it's you know, having a drink or a quick hit or whatever. It's Band-Aid. You know, it's you know, you're still going to have a scab underneath that, and you're going to pick it again. Mm-hmm. So, you know, and that works sometimes for a while. I'm not going to lie. It's, you know, sometimes that's, you know, people have to grieve or certain ways or do certain things to get there. But no, man, I just had one of those moments where I was like, dude, fuck this. This is something's got to be different. You know, things have been, I'm already cooped up, and then to have, you know, have anything going on. On top of it, it's, you know, it'd just be so easy for me to just sit here and waste away. And I could just feel that happening. I could feel like I could see it happening, and I don't want to get down that path.
That's incredibly mindful, brother. I mean, I'm proud of you for that. And to kind of to go even further back a little bit to clarify kind of what you're saying. I've wanted you on this podcast. You were one of the first names I wrote down before we even fucking launched it. All right. And we've talked I talked with my mutual friend even back before, if you say, if this is okay, you have recently taken a dip, happiness wise, some events in your life, like you mentioned. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
So even before that, you were hesitant to come on, and I had a feeling why, and you confirmed it the other day on the phone that, Jeff, I want you to know, like, this is, and I think Jeff and I have talked about this because I was always telling him, I want to get Joey on. I wanted you guys to meet. You're both fucking musicians. You know, you guys click. But I said, I don't think he wants to come on because where he's in recovery from heroin, he hasn't stopped drinking. And I think he feels conflicted about coming on. And I just needed to get you on the phone and tell you, this isn't a podcast for just people that have completely fucking cleaned up and like stopped doing everything and are now this like reborn fucking Christian. That's not. I knew that you still drank. I've sat with you at Fridays that night.
Yeah.
But your story, you're like, the reason I wanted you on is because your story is so fucking powerful. Because it's so fucking real and it's not fake ass bullshit where everything's easy. You recover from fucking deadly ass H, right? Which is dropping people like fucking flies. But you still have a couple drinks and look at that tattoo and are wanting to help people, but you don't want to be like, I don't know what the hesitation was, but I'm glad you're here because this is authentic, man. And that's what we fucking live on. Like this shit's real life. And I'm just so grateful you're here because there's people out there that are in all stages of this shit that aren't even close to rock bottom yet. They're headed there. There's people that are at rock bottom. There's people that are climbing out of it. There's people that are where I'm at are farther beyond. Professionals or people that are leading groups because they've had real success in the recovery journey. And then there's people where you're at, where you saved your life by stopping the one vice but life's still fucking hard. I think that's what you said to me on Saturday, that there's still, I mean, that's before all this shit, what we're dealing with in our environment right now. But that is, to me, such a powerful story that you have for people out there. And I want you to explain it a little bit, that like what we talked about where, yeah, part of it's lifestyle. You're in a band, right? And talk about your hours and your, what's, I wouldn't say maybe expected. It is kind of, people think that like if you're in a band. But yeah, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. You tell us about your drinking and where you're at right now.
Well, so like with the hours in the band and everything, I work, at 8 to a 12-hour day, kind of. It just starts a little later than other people.
Yeah.
Typically, if we're playing a club or a bar or something like that, Wednesdays and Thursdays, I got to be there at 5. Or 6 or 7, something like that to start. We play 7 to 11 or 8 to midnight. That's, so get there a couple hours before, leave there about an hour after. It's a 4-hour time slot. So, your typical, it's about 8 hours, depending on how far away I am from home. Get home at 1:30. Well, nobody goes to bed at 7 o'clock when they get home at 5:30, right? So up for a little bit and say, so no drinking at all. Let's take that out of it. Going to bed at, say, 3 at the best, something like that. Well, getting up at 8 a.m. and getting your day started doing all that stuff isn't always going to happen, and then throwing drinking on top of it, even a couple of them, fuck 8 a.m.
Right.
It gets real easy to basically your days just start so much later. And then for me, I found that I would just feel this guilt because I'm getting up at noon or 1 o'clock or something like that, and it's like, well, shit, the whole world's been doing their whole thing for 6 hours plus, and I'm just getting going, and not getting much of the sun in the daytime. That takes its toll. And then being in the bars and having some drinks, I always tell people, the fiddle sounds better if you drink, not me. Obviously, because
I like that.
And the thing is that, I have had a couple shows where I got a little sauced up and I had to kind of just, all right, bud, get it together. And it's happened. It's happened to the best of them, to everyone. I've seen it before.
I can only fucking imagine, man.
And there's some times where I felt like I embarrassed myself a couple times, and I've asked people and they're like, yeah, we know it's a little bit, but, I really tried to dial that back, and I had kind of learned from those mistakes, and then sometimes would just get sauced afterwards. Just say that kind of thing. So, that it's conducive to drinking, being in the bar. Obviously.
That's a good way to put it. Absolutely.
But it's not. I know tons of musicians that are sober and kicking ass and slaying the club scenes. Well, not now, where none of us are working, but I know tons of guys that through the program and not. It's doable. It's you show it when you go to Fridays and hang out. It's doable.
Absolutely.
But it's a lifestyle change, and the hours get tough. And then being around it, it's just kind of what you do, and the band that I'm in, we really love our fans. We try to make a genuine connection, because the reason the band's been around so long, I've been in the band for going on 6 years now.
I was going to ask you about that.
Been around for 26, 27, it's around 27 years the band's been around. And that's because of making a genuine connection with fans. And then when their kids are like 19, they're trying to sneak in and get into
fucking shenanigans.
Shenanigans, motherfucker. You fucking beat me to it. That's what I was going to say. Sneak in fucking shenanigans and creating shit like that. Because
remember that hot blonde that used to sing for them? I hope my wife's not listening, but whatever.
Oh shit. But so on break we're out talking to people, we're yelling over the music, and believe me, I'm not bitching about this. I love getting to play music, but
sure. No, we're not. Yeah.
But it's a full time. I mean, you're go, and then you get in the car and head home.
No fucking sunshine, brother.
It's a hard environment too, because they're sending like drinks up to you and stuff like that. I mean, when I play, people are buying you drinks, and it's crazy. Oh, yeah. And then you guys play like long sets too, so you have drinks coming all night long at you.
Yeah, and a lot of places that they go, well, you get half off food and you get drinks, and it's like, well, I guess let's get. But that's one thing that I will say. The boys in the band that I'm in, they are not partiers. I probably am the one that gets the loosest, if you will, with it. It's a tight ship. It's a business. It runs it very well, and I'm very grateful to be a part of that. And I will say I couldn't imagine being in a band where guys are like really like,
right,
going hard in the paint, because it'd be too easy for because we have each other to really. To lean on, if I was getting too loose, which is happening, like my boys were like, hey,
right,
and we can do that we can say it to one another. If we were all that way, it'd be a shit show. And so I'm very grateful to be with the guys that I play with. Actually, all the guys that I played with in the band in the past 6 years that have come and gone, they've all been legit dudes that really strive to be better musicians. And
right. I mean, you guys aren't a just go get fucked up and play a 2-hour set at a tavern, which is great for those guys, but this is a fucking job for you, man. That's your livelihood.
Right.
And if you guys were all getting fucking 3 sheets, there's no way that, well, I mean, I guess you could sound, I guess, I don't know shit, but what you're saying, it wouldn't be as good of a product, probably, right, if all of you are fucking jacked up on blow and hammered, or doing other shit. Joey, right. So 6 years in Well Hungarians, how long ago has it been since you got clean from heroin?
Well, I was just thinking about that, because I knew you'd ask that, and I guess it's been, I guess I'm going on 8 years now. I guess it'll be in September. It'll be 8 years. I was trying to figure out if it was 7 or 8, but I had just gotten a year before I got in the band, and I've been in the band going on 6. So it'll be 7, actually.
Okay.
7. I had just gotten a year. I was, funny story, I was facing a year in prison in Arizona, and I got a phone call. There's a warrant. I'm like, what? So I had been clean for a year, and then I flew out to Arizona. I happened to get clean. It was just, I had a moment, but I got clean. And then a year later, I'm working at a gym. I'm all buffed up, doing the workout thing. And then they're like, come on out to Arizona. So fingers crossed, I hope they just don't take me to jail when I went out there. But I went out there, and then for the next year, I called the number every day and took a piss test. And I passed the whole thing and got everything expunged. And that was
good for you.
That was it. And then that was right before I got in the band. So,
was that, did you, if you didn't work any program, was that your surrogate program, just a fucking drug test? And
Well, that at that point it was. I mean, I was already. I had already gotten clean, and now and when I say clean, I to get over the heroin withdrawal, I was smoking a gang of weed,
okay.
and my doctor had me on like clonidine and some liver, just basic detox type things, no
Okay.
narcotics or anything like that.
No, yeah, this is important. This is really important for people that are listening. Do you remember was there one thing that made you say, this is fucked up, my life's unmanageable, or was it a series? People ask me that all the time about, and I was like, I knew my fucking shit was unmanageable for 2-3 years before I finally, by the grace of God, checked into rehab.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I must have told myself this is like, this is fucked. I must have told myself that, a million times,
Absolutely.
But like, this is it, my life. This is it. And then something always happened that it either enabled me or I got better just long enough to, be okay with my family again and then pick it all up, or there was always something. But this last time, I just remember my mom looking at me and she's just going, there's nothing left. And what
Really?
she meant was like, she was speaking for her and then my dad and my stepmom, basically there was just like nothing left, whether it's, we got no more money to send you to rehab like that. We have nothing else even emotionally to give. I mean, it was just, they were tapped, and I could see it in her eyes when she said like, we have nothing left. And basically that was, I had like 1 month left that I had paid for in this shithole apartment that I was living in Bethalto. And I knew that once I left there, I wouldn't have a place to live if I didn't get off drugs. Like, for real, I didn't have a place to go. And I'm like, dude, I couldn't panhandle. I wouldn't last a day out on the streets. I'm weak. I'm not above it. I couldn't even, I wouldn't last a day.
Yeah, I mean, I can't camp when it's raining out. So I get it. I'm a pussy too. There's no way.
Dude, I just know me. It'd be awful. I wouldn't even know what to do. And there was just something that clicked, because I've had that conversation with my parents before. They've said this to me they've said it to me many times over the years. And like I said, either maybe I did something just enough to manipulate them to think I was doing okay. But this last time, I told myself, I was like, I just have to do this. And I told myself that there was no option to go to rehab. There wasn't an option to go to a doctor and get Suboxone for a week. That shit cost like a ton of money just to see a damn doctor to get some medication that you might, so I had to cold turkey it, and it sucked, it sucked. And I had done that before, and anybody who's gone through it will tell you it's awful. It's the worst thing you can.
Somebody said it was hell on earth. They described that to me, that went through that.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I've always tried to describe it as like, there's an itch somewhere that you just cannot scratch, whether it's inside your head, or you just want to kind of pull your hair, like you want to like feel anything but this thing that's just kind of inside. It's awful.
And to clarify to the listeners, you're talking about the withdrawal from heroin.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Yeah. I've seen, so when I was in rehab, there was the alcoholics and the opioid heroin addicts. We were together because it's the same brain shit, right? Mm. And I watched some kids detox, but some kids try to do it, and they were in a room puking and shaking, and it's heartbreaking to see. I can't imagine how that feels, man. And to go through that, how so you've done it a couple times. You did this cold turkey.
Oh, yeah, man. I sometimes you have to, that's kind of the nature of the beast. Once you're doing it for a while, you don't really get high or have fun doing it. You just get well. I mean, to keep getting high from heroin, you have to keep getting more money so you can do a higher dose. Well, typically you don't make more money when you're using more heroin. You're spending it more than it's coming in. So, the next thing you do is just to like, okay, I did that. Now I feel normal, So when it starts wearing off, I mean, it's like, if you can't find money, to get more, you're going to start kicking, and that's whenever people do some pretty
crazy fucking shit.
Crazy shit. You put somebody's back against the wall, and I mean, it really is. There's a sickness there you feel, and as soon as you feed that, you could actually sit down with your family and have a meal. It's not even that you're just going to be
right.
The chest. It's not that. Now sometimes that happens because you can't regulate the shit. You don't know what's in your dope and stuff like that. But I mean, there really was a time where if I didn't have something in me, I couldn't even function. But that day, whenever I told myself I'd kick it, I told my mom I wanted to kick it, and I wasn't going to come to her house, never save, because my parents have saved me so many times, and we've learned, my dad doing the tough love thing, my mom doing the stay in my basement, I don't want you to die thing. Yeah. We've done every single combination in that fucking Rubik's Cube of dysfunction. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've done it all. And basically what it was is as soon as I started taking care of myself, like for real, like I actually wanted to do it, everything else fell into place. I told myself I can't live on the street and I don't have any help from my parents. Like, you have to do this. Well, as I finally got over that physical state, I just felt better. And
got through it, yeah.
And then I ended up getting a job and I just took off from there. It was good, out of sight, out of mind, I just kind of flipped upside down and turned my life around. I went to meetings for a while in the beginning. I went to AA. I've always been a fan of AA.
Sure.
It helped me really get a jump start and
some accountability.
Exactly.
Sounds like when you got through the dope sick the last time, what I heard you say, and it kind of light bulbed for me that you really, when you're like, I got to do this. You had to take some fucking accountability and your parents have done everything. How long was how long were you using?
Well, let's see. I mean, I started with the needle at 21.
Oh shit.
21, 22. But I mean, I was hooked on pain pills before high school.
That's all right. So I was going to ask you, how it started for you.
I didn't really know anything about it then, though. I didn't know I was.
Nobody did, man. I don't think anybody fucking knew that pain pills were going to turn into people sticking needles in their arms. I mean,
the line goes from it's so many people, they think it's, oh man, I could never use needles.
Right. And they end up, it's crazy.
It's because there's very little difference. And I remember when I had that, man, I just snort it. I don't shoot it, and these people they're like, fuck you holier than thou. Like, fuck it, we're doing the same thing. And they weren't wrong. I'm sitting there judging, well, I'm not as bad as them. Well, I got there and I'm going, oh, now then I went to that too. It's a different delivery system, and yeah, it's more deadly and it's lethal, but it's all awful. And that's the thing. Progresses, and I am literally one in a fucking billion that you could ask him how to start. Well, I took a Percocet when I was about 14. We could start a million stories like that, just like that.
It's fucking crazy, man.
It really is.
And it's still it's still going on. So what you are doing is fucking awareness for that shit, man. I was talking with somebody the other day. By having these conversations that you and I are having, we had Nick on. By having these conversations, parents are knowing what to look for now in their kids when they go into the medicine cabinet and they're missing 5 fucking pills of a 10, and they don't, now they know why, where our parents wouldn't fucking know. I mean, they were like, it just because nobody talked about this shit. It wasn't out there. Granted, technology's helped that. Like, we're fucking Zuma boom booming, whatever the fuck it's called right now. Hence some of the audio quality. If you guys are gonna Siskel and Ebert our ass for some poor audio, it's because there's a fucking virus out there. Jack offs. Just kidding. But seriously, like, thank God for the technology so we can fucking spread awareness on this. I mean it. There's so many kids now. Like, even I have some of our friends have kids that are getting close to high school. Scares the fuck out of me. But at least we know what to look for when it comes to the pain pill shit. They're coming up with all kinds of new ways to get high, eating Tide Pods and shit. But the key is that we're shattering this fucking stigma. That you had some real fucking balls to come on here and talk about your heroin usage, because you're not fucking scared of any type of stigma or bullshit that somebody's going to say, or any judgmental fucking hypocritical Christian. You're here to help people find out what to look for when their kids start fucking getting into their goddamn medicine cabinet. Pardon my French. It's fucked up, and it's scary, man, because it's dropping these kids like fucking flies right now. Like flies. It's killing. Talking about a pandemic. This shit's been going on long before the fucking COVID shit. And we posted the guy we had on, Jeff Stevens from Wellbeing Brewing, had that awesome quote about when you get sober, 10 people's lives change. Well, I think the preface to that is when you get fucking addicted, let's just say heroin, because that's what we're talking about now, 10 people's lives change because you fucking wreck 10 people probably, at least, when you start using, when kids start fucking around with pain pills because they think it's fun at a high school party. It will wreck your parents, your siblings, your grandparents if they're still around, your friends, your aunts, your uncles. It'll fuck your dog up. Everybody. It fucks everybody up. So what we're trying to do, and I feel a passion from you every time we talk about it, was at that wedding this summer, or at the bar at Fridays, or just on the phone the other night. You share this passion with us, and I think it's fucking amazing, man. And it's incredibly brave to come on here and talk about this shit. So we couldn't be more grateful. Don't think we're letting you go. We're just getting started, baby. If I could get that fiddle out. So talking the other day, another topic I wanted to discuss with you was something that Jeff and I just released a podcast on Monday. We recorded last Wednesday, I think. I mean, I don't even know what fucking day of the week it is right now. It's a shit. Somebody posted on Facebook, it's Groundhog Day, like that Bill Murray movie. It's fucking what we're doing right now, right?
Absolutely.
Looking for Ned Ryerson. But you had the same, you kind of took the words out of my mouth because you were so concerned about people like us right now. And as Jeff has said multiple times, if for those of you that haven't been listening or just catch a couple episodes here and there, his big demon is anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
I always say, show me an addict that doesn't have anxiety and depression issues. Like, I don't think that exists. But Jeff doesn't have an issue with, he socially drinks, but like, unlike me, he can have one and then like go to bed, where I got to finish the bottle, like, and then pass out. So you shared that, Joey, with me about how concerned you are. I was concerned for you because I know you've been going through a rough time recently. Life's hills and valleys, but I know you've had a kind of a thing change in your life a couple months ago that had some of your friends worried. So I was worried and I think I reached out like, hey, I'm worried. Are you doing okay? Because I don't know where you were going to be staying. It's the worst time to be alone, right? Mm-hmm. So you being with your family is huge, and you seem to be doing pretty good. And but you know what it feels like. You know what it feels like to be lonely, at rock bottom, struggling like a motherfucker, and you were concerned for people during this pandemic.
Genuinely concerned. I still am. And, I have felt this, what people are going through right now, having to be at home, and the anxiety and the depression. I felt that without the fucking coronavirus, the COVID. I felt that 4 months ago, sitting at home without anybody telling me I had to be at home. So now, without the option to even get out or anything like that, I can only imagine what people are feeling. And I'm blessed that my parents, we nipped it in the bud. I got out here the right time. My roommate and I have been staying out here. We're hunkered down. if he and I were just sitting in my place, I mean, just left to my own devices, just the two of us, we talked, it'd be so much harder, even with just two people. We have strength in numbers. We know that in many different ways, as in people.
I like that.
And we really do. And so like right now it's my roommate and my dad, me, my sister, and my stepmom. And so we've got all these little outlets. We can play video games with my sister. We can watch a different movie with my parents. We can go on the lake, and just throw a pole out, just, sit out there we throw a baseball around. We have these options. Not many people have. There are people that are sitting at home by their fucking self, not even a fucking grandma or a mom or a sister or a brother, somebody that the only people they're in contact with is on a fucking screen like we are right now. And if that were me, I'd be, I can't imagine where I'd be. And so that's why I told you, I was like, there's somebody out there that needs to hear from us or say hello, or they need it. Cause I know I need it. Even with all my people here or my family, I still need this.
You couldn't have put that any better. And it's definitely, it squeezes my fucking heart knowing that. I think I've explained this. Jeff and I talked about it. Like, it's a little bit of survivor's guilt, man. I have my wife, my kiddo, my mother who lives next door to us. Yeah, haha, make all your fucking jokes. But we are together. We've kind of sequestered together. My mother has some, respiratory issues, and she'd fucking cut me out of the will if I mentioned her age on here, but she's, no spring chicken. God bless her. But we've hunkered down and we're getting by, man. And and segue to my recovery, like, I am confident but not cocky. And I feel a twist of temptation. I know it's, and the girls, I'm cool with them drinking wine. They're not fucking alcoholics. But I can only fucking imagine how hard it is for the people like you mentioned that are sitting home alone without what I have, without what you have, and where, I'm so fucking grateful. Like it takes me back to like fucking watching my best friend die in that fucking go-kart accident. Like, I'm so grateful to be alive, but my heart's fucking crushed for the people that, for him, but for the people that don't have what we have. So how do we be where the rubber meets the road to help them if they're interested? And the only fucking thing I could think of was start this PA online meeting group where, it's for people in recovery that can't make their meetings, but people that are lonely, if they want to we can be on it. And I don't know. I don't have the answers, but I'm just thinking out loud. I mean, this is not something anybody's fucking prepared for, but I mean, I'm sure you're playing music sometimes online, like, and people could get on there and fucking type away and be a part of something. Like, that's what I'm recommending. I don't know if it's going to work. Fuck, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but I do know that the hearts are fucking breaking out there, and people are grieving and people are lonely, and I'm praying hard as fuck for them. And I know you are, and I know it's in your blood and passion for them. We share that. Jeff's huge on it. Jeff runs our like production shit at church, and we have to do everything online now. And I don't think every church can do that. Like, and that's something that once I know people that the only time they were fucking happy is when they go sit in pew in church or the only time they'd feel community was that hour and a half on a Sunday. And now that's fucking gone. So we gotta, I think we're pretty smart guys here. We got to come up with something, Joey. We got to figure out. So I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but play some music, man. I think that people love your sound, and I don't know if you're hard on yourself or not, but you sound great. I know people love you. People love your heart. We're gonna push the PA meeting group, so people, if they want to fucking, it's like a fucking chat room, like when we were kids. I don't know. Something to do, something to not be alone in. And with the Zoom shit, I don't know. We got to figure something out. But we kind of are. We're always saying, Joe, let's get Joey on. Let's get Joey on. We'll do it in person and release it like on a Monday, like we normally do. But as Joey and I were talking, Joey's like, man, I'll get on whenever, like, because he's fucking burning a passion that we are, Jeff. And
yeah, that's awesome.
Here I am rambling again, but man, this shit is brutal, and we gotta. The praying is the least we can do, and there's nothing to lose praying. But I think we can all do some tangible things here to put ourselves out there. I mean, there's probably people, Joey, that like the time they come and listen to you guys play is their fucking highlight of the week. And like you mentioned earlier, your fans, like you guys have some fucking fanatical fans. I mean, that fan is short for fanatical, and a couple hot ones that I've noticed. But hey, who hasn't gotten? Never mind. I was going to say something about the back hallway at Cutter's, but who hasn't? Okay, Jeff.
Is that the peeling shrimp or that I'm smelling or what?
Oh my God.
This is the first dirty joke I've told on the podcast.
I love you. I fucking love you. He broke his cherry.
I broke it. I was the G-rated one for so long.
Joey, thanks for being here, man. And this isn't going to be the last time. We want to have you on more. I'm going to ship you one of these hats.
I was going to ask you when I can get one of those.
Yeah,
I was going to ask you. I want one of those.
You got it. So you guys are hanging in there over there, and you're in Bethalto, right?
Yeah. Holiday Shores area around the lake out here. Cool. But yeah, man, I like I said, the family is what's really kind of kept me grounded, and then going back to what you were saying about what can we do. I think one thing that's hard is that we have this passion. We want people to know that they're not alone, but it's such a broad stroke, and we need to be hitting people individually and making them feel that, because that's what it is. It's making them feel. Yeah. People that are struggling, it's not selfish. They want some one-on-one type of an interaction, whether it's something as simple as, hey man, did you see that show? Or whatever it is, just something to be acknowledged. And we want to help so many that we don't help. I want to help so many that sometimes it's so broad. Not one person is there, hey, call us anytime if you want to come talk. Well, that tends to fall on deaf ears with so many people. They think, well, there's so many people that are going to call in or this and that. Yeah. There's got to be a way to at least be a little more personable about this, to not make it seem like it's a fucking help, some hotline to, make it more of like a, hey, come on through. Like, you don't have to be on camera, or sure, it can be completely anonymous if you want. And that's great. That's great, man. If somebody wants to talk about some shit with me, whether it's good or bad, come on with it. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything, right. And that's why I told you I was so hesitant, because I don't have all the answers. Sometimes I do drink to medicate, and I've had some, like I said, some recent things, and I haven't been drinking, and it's only been a couple of days, and I'm not giving myself any praise for that. But I know that I've seen some shit, and I can shed some light, and I have some wisdom on some really bad places, and I can tell you, what isn't good to do and what is good to do, what's worked for me and what hasn't worked for me. I just don't want to ever come off as I'm holier than thou, because I know people that are working a great program with doing nothing, no drinking, no nothing like that. And I know that I've been there, and I've been kind of judgmental when I've been there before. When I was completely clean of everything, it was like, oh my gosh, you've taken a Suboxone, like, and I know people are like that. And I got away from that. And so I want it to be known that I don't claim to be any better or anything. I have some knowledge, and I think, I met people that are like me, and that's kind of how I got better, by people. You're a real life motherfucker is what you are. Here it is. What do you want to know? Here's that book, And so, and the key is, I've been told that I do. I know fucking Jeff does, and you do have big fucking hearts, and you care about people. I'm working on being less of an asshole,
than I can be, but you guys are fucking kind motherfuckers. You both are, and this is good company right here. And you're so right about the individual, like, yeah, for working a program in a group setting is so important for us. But during this time, like, fuck, call somebody that you know is struggling. Text them.
If
Just
you
shoot
think
them.
about somebody, call them. If you think about somebody, call them. That's all I have to say. I cannot stress it enough. If you think about somebody, just call them, man. I've talked to my brother. He texted me. I said, yeah, and I called him instead of texting back. And my brother's 25. So we're 10 years apart, right? So I called him. I was like, yeah, man. I was like, people really don't call anymore. And he's like, all right, boomer. He starts talking.
Right.
A little
That's funny.
shit. And he's wise beyond his years too. He's an old soul. But I told him, I said, no. I said, right now, I said, when I'm in the car, if I had to go to the grocery store or something like that, like, I want to talk to somebody. And even when people text me and ask me how I'm doing, it's like, unless they're at work or they're doing something, give them a call. I really do think that and I'm not saying, oh, nobody talks on the phone anymore. We're all staying connected. It's not this old boomer shit. It's not that. Hearing somebody's voice makes a huge difference. It really does. When I talked to you on the phone, Chris, it was totally different than us just texting some details. When
Sure.
we sat sitting in my room back there and drinking my coffee, and everybody else in the house is sleeping. I get up early whenever I'm not playing music. Dude, I get up at 6:30 every day out there with a fishing pole or drinking coffee or some shit.
Love it.
But talking to you on the phone gave me so much more confidence to do this. We text and stuff like that, but
yeah.
hearing the tone, the timbre, the sincerity, the genuineness in your voice, that goes a long way. And
I appreciate that.
I would say if you think of anyone, just if they pop in your head, give them a ring, bug them, fuck it. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know if some people don't know it, but they want to get bugged. They want somebody to talk to them. I know I
Amen,
do.
man.
I can't be alone, right?
Fucking no, you're not. And that's fucking preach on, brother. That's fucking amazing. Yeah. And I amen to that. I can't agree with you more on that. That is huge. And I'm going to take that as a personal mission from you to make sure I stay on top of that, especially these next couple weeks, months, however long this fucking shit's got us on lockdown. Yeah, that's powerful stuff, and I couldn't agree more. Joe, you're the fucking man. I knew this would be great, brother. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy, and I love you, and I'm glad you're here with us. And this isn't a fucking Zoomer hand job. I mean it. I love you to death, and I'm proud of you, and I'm grateful for you. Jeff, do you got anything for Joey?
No, man. This has been great. I'm just trying to stay out of the way a little bit.
No, you fucking stop. We got to get you guys together, man. I got some requests, so I'll send you my list and get you guys together where you can play my favorite tunes for me. Have a little serenade me, baby. Serenade me. Joey, real quick before we go, I want you to talk about your band real quick. Where can we find if things go back to normal? Do you guys have a website? Facebook? How can people find the name of the band? Spell it out for everyone that doesn't know.
WellHungarians.net. That's what you go to. Well, WLL Hungarians, just like Hungarians. All one word. WellHungarians.net. Do not go to wellhungarians.com. I'm sure you will now.
I might check that out. That sounds kind of naughty.
Oh boy, just won't stop that. Anyway, so we have a website. That's our website.
Okay.
Look me up on Facebook, Joey Miner, MINER. But yeah, you'll see Well Hungarians Facebook page and all that. Snapchat, Instagram, pretty much every social media. Actually, MySpace is going pretty strong too. So you can check that shit, son.
Is that still around?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I think Justin Timberlake bought it or some shit. It's basically music based now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, we do have a MySpace, which is pretty funny. But yeah, man. If this gets back to normal, every Wednesday we play at Johnny's West over in Missouri, and every Thursday we play at Silver Creek in Belleville. And then Fridays and Saturdays are always different. So when this gets back to normal, hopefully that'll be the schedule again.
Well, Jeff and I got to bring him out to one of your shows. We'll bring the wives, Joey, as long as you, do tell them we can keep them off you fucking guys. You know,
Well, I'll make sure they stay on you. That's all. That's my job.
I love it. Well, thanks, and we'll include all this when we're done. Joey, email me or text me your social media handles, and we'll include it in the show notes. So if anybody wants to reach out to you, and just have a fucking convo, bro.
I'm open 100%. That's it. I mean, if send me the Facebook message to whatever. I mean, if I get bombarded, obviously it's gonna be tough. But I mean, I'm happy to. I'm giving the open invite, y'all. So if anybody gets on there, feel free.
So with that, I normally like to take the last minute or two, or three, or however the fuck long of the closing of the podcast to talk about something that's on my heart. But tonight I want to give the floor to my friend Joey. Joey went through a tough time this week, and he posted a beautiful song on Facebook that he sang to his cousin Rachel. And Joey, I want to give you the floor and talk a little bit about that.
Well, thank you, Chris. So Rachel was my cousin, and a few days ago she took her own life. I never know what to say. She committed suicide. She killed herself. She took her own life. There's no good way to say it. And just really, it comes down to what you and I were talking. We talked about this before this happened. We were talking about reaching out to people and how, and I had this thing of calling people, and she had called me, and I missed the call, and I called her back the next day. And we had a great conversation, and I was so happy to have that conversation with her. And then the next couple of days, we had Marco Polo'd one another. I guess it's like this app. It's like a video app, whatever. And I happened to be over at my mom and my grandma's picking up some things and dropping off some stuff for them. And my grandma was like talking, she's Japanese. And it's me all funny and shit. And hope she's not mad at me. I don't speak to her. And I guess Rachel could hear that on this. She said, and then I had left. So I had left. And I get this message back from her, and she's like, "Oh, if you're still there, tell grandma that I would never be mad at her." So I've got these videos, and didn't talk to her for a day. And I asked her if there was anything that she needed, toilet paper or whatever. And she's kind of like my little sister. We grew up, all of our cousins, pretty close. And if she needed anything, she said, "Well, I could just use a song, like one of your. I love the stuff you do with the band, but like one of your old songs, like that you did before you were at the band. Like I used to do a lot of Jack Johnson and Ben Harper, or the Death Cab for Cutie song that I did. The Decemberists, she liked that kind of stuff that I did, just got the guitar stuff." And she said, "I don't care what it is, put something up." And I dragging my feet. I didn't want to be, I didn't want to look like some thirsty musician. And I didn't want to look like it was be like this. And I had all these things, and I'm dragging all, and my buddy and my dad were like, "Just put one up, just shut up, just do it." And I dragged my feet, and then I found out, a couple of days ago that she had taken her life, that she committed suicide. And that night I put a video up immediately. I put a video up immediately, and I realized that I felt a little guilty, but there was a reason that she and I talked on the phone. We didn't talk a whole lot like that. We text here and there and stuff, but we didn't talk on the phone. And there was a reason for all that. And I in hindsight, I look back, and there wasn't a single negative thing in her voice. So I don't know what happened, but that's kind of what I just calling somebody and talking to him. Maybe she would have done something that day that if she didn't talk to her that day, it might happen sooner. I don't know. It doesn't, that doesn't matter, but there are people out there that are fucking struggling, and we don't know. Even the people that are really close to us, we think are really close to us, we don't know. They might even be living in the same house and struggling. And there's no way to just tell somebody, "Hey, I'm here to talk," because if it were that easy, there wouldn't be anybody struggling, because there are so many people that listen. That's why there's got to be something to where it's just breaking the mold and just not being selfish. It's not, just caring about other people. And it's been a tough week. And I'm going to put out another song later this evening, actually, for her, another one that she really liked. I kind of think that's what I'm just going to make an album and try to tribute to her. And I thank you very much for letting me speak about that on your show here, because I know that there are plenty of people that are struggling just like she is, and if not worse, and they want help. They just might not know where or how or what that entails. And if even one of these words could have somebody give me a ring to have at least even one better day, I'd feel good about it. You can't prevent everything, but if I could just one thing, like you said, if it helped one person, it's worth it, right? Just
Amen.
One. So.
Thanks, Joey.
Yeah, thank you, bud. We
love you. We're praying for you. We're praying for your cousins, your whole family, and amen, brother. Amen.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it, brother.
You be well. You stay safe, and call someone tonight, guys. Call someone tomorrow. If you think about them, call them, right, Joey?
Yep. They come across your mind, dial them up.
I love you, brother.
All right. Love you, man. Jeff, nice to meet you, brother. Thank you, guys.
Nice to meet you, too. Yeah.
Fun.
Take care, everyone. Let us pray.
If you're struggling or know someone that is, please have them check out our podcast and reach out to Chris or me. We want to listen, and we're super eager to help. Pondoff's Anonymous is Chris Pondoff and produced by me, Jeff Allen. Our music is Anti-Hero by McCall and Gentle Waters by Wild Wonder. For more information, visit pondoffsanonymous.com. Find us on Facebook and Instagram.